I would like just to touch upon what St. Paul spoke in the second reading of the Mass today, that he became everything to every people for the sake of the gospel. A story is narrated of a young priest who was just out of the seminary, a brilliant student, and everyone thought of him excellent and he would have a big, important and excellent career, looking at the word career. But unluckily, as everybody thought unluckily, he was sent to a far away remote mission, what people call God-forsaken, a tribal area, very few Catholics. He went there with a big face, sad. But things happened differently. After a year, the young priest comes to the bishop and says, "Bishop, I would like to remain there my full term, 7 years. I have begun to love my people, and they have begun to love me, and I have identified myself with their sorrows, difficulties, poverties, backwardness, and even when people consider them as people who do not have a human identity. I have started identifying myself, and I think that is the true role of a priest. In the seminary, I had my own thought of the priesthood of Jesus Christ, but I interpreted it as my own. Today, I have changed my way of thinking. My dear brother priest, my dear friends, Jesus, Son of God, High Priest, identified himself, emptied himself with the people of his time, with the sinners, with the sick, with the poor, with backward. He did not move about with the high-ranking people, but he moved about with the people who are sinners. And this is why he was accused by the Pharisees. St. Paul today says in his second reading that "Woe to me if I do not preach the gospel. For if I do this of my own will, I have a reward. But if I not of my own will, I am entrusted with a commission, that in my preaching I may make the gospel free of charge. For though I am free from all men, I have made myself a slave to all, that I may win the more. To the weak I became weak, that I might win the weak. I become all things to all men." Pope Francis today identified himself and says, "Church the poor for the poor." And he anywhere he goes, his first attention is to the children, to the sick, and so-called people who do not have identity in the society, in the church. And we are all called upon. And he says, if the gospel has to be preached, and if gospel has to be made known, there is no other way today than identifying ourselves with Christ, who emptied himself and became all things for all. And we know by experience that we may preach the gospel in our churches. Our people may come to us in the church, but we limit ourselves within the four walls of the church most of the time and not identify ourselves with the people in the society. I'm not saying no, because a lot of wonderful works that have been done in our church, in our India, especially in North India and various parts among the poor and tribal. But as the days go on, because of the attacks, the troubles, the criticism, the laws and regulations, we try to withdraw ourselves in the church. I'm sure here, in the meeting that is going on for the bishops there at CCBI, we remind ourselves the church by its nature is missionary. There is no church if this mission is forgotten, because this is the only mandate that the Lord gave to his disciples as a parting gift. Go to the whole world and proclaim the good news.